it pushed the boundaries and the limit, and they were, for me, as you can imagine, they were a real garage band.
Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Glenn Hughes. How
Hey,
are you,
man.
sir?
Bye. How are you?
I'm living the dream. I have a a floral shirt, a Hawaiian shirt too. I feel like almost underdressed hanging out with you.
Where are you, by the way?
I am in Queens, New York.
Oh, I love New York. Absolutely. Absolutely lovely.
I'm co-workers actually with your tour producer Bill, and sometimes I'm lucky enough to jump on these tours and just a little
Cool.
heads up, I have my 2-year-old in the background, so he may join us.
Oh, cool. How nice.
We'll see. I guess kind of the get started. Do you remember your very first? Because I'm talking about like his first concert. Do you remember your very first concert that Glenn Hughes ever went to?
Um, it would be the Beatles in 1964,
Wow.
back in my very early years.
Wow. Well, his name is Harrison, named after George. So there's
Yeah,
it's
how lovely.
serendipitous there.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk to Glenn about his brand new album, Chosen. And how long have you been were you working on this? Because we're all so excited to hear one of the greatest voices in rock and
Uh,
roll back.
I think, Gabby, I think oatmeal's better. Okay. Sorry, I've been working. I went into the studio early 24. I have a studio in my house, and I wrote those particular songs. And then I did a European tour, March, April, and May. And then in June of last year, I went into the studio for real in Copenhagen and made Chosen.
I love it. So how do you feel? Because you were talking about like, okay, if this is my last album, do you feel that way that this could be, or is it just you're just saying that because you just never
Um,
know?
I'll say again, I think long playing albums are becoming a thing of the past. When I see and read what's happening now, I think generally people are only listening to one or two songs, or they're buying one song from iTunes or
Mm.
streaming one song. And I put a lot of time and effort into making these albums. And so it's a lot of work, but I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. So for me, it might be the last rock album I make. It might not be the last album I make.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. And speaking of, because you can say whatever album you want to make, you have that kind of voice. I couldn't help but notice in the prep. I can't believe this quote has always passed me by that what Stevie Wonder once said about you. Do you remember
Yeah.
that the reaction when he said that you're his favorite white singer?
I met Stevie in 74. We he came to see me in the studio, and from that day we became very good friends, and he's been very kind to me. And it's not just I love his voice, I just love him. He's a family man, he's a good man, he's everybody has to have a mentor, and I'm lucky enough to have him.
That's one of the best mentors you can get. So what's something that you learned from him, I guess? Is there something that you still take with you that maybe he said that you still remember to this day that you're like, okay, Stevie told me that, and you've been hanging on it all this time?
And he's just very calm and studious and incredible. We know about his voice, but his lyrics are so. I read a lot, and I also realize that lyrics are very important, and his lyrics are just incredible.
What kind of stuff are you reading? What the stuff you like to read?
Well, I read everything, but I do read about spiritual progression. I've been studying Buddhism for 15 years, and I've been reading about staying present and living here in the moment.
That's that's a challenge. That's something that I tell myself, just from studying Buddhism or just me going to therapy, just trying to be in the moment and not worry about the past
It
or
really
think about
is.
the future. So maybe do you have advice and tip maybe just for myself or for your fans of just how to live in the moment? Because it sounds
Um,
so easy, but it's not.
as soon as I hit the floor in the morning, I say thank you, and I am in tune with my breath, which is important for me. Breath work is hello.
Here's
You're
Harrison. I told you he can crash the interview.
you're a lucky man.
So I'm living in the moment right now. I
Yeah.
told her, say hi, Glenn
Hello.
Hughes. You say hi, Glenn Hughes.
Hello. So sweet, so adorable.
So I'll mute my mic while you give your answer because I told Bill, our friend producer, I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna get a few minutes, but I'm living in the moments. You know, my wife had to go to
Cool.
work, and
I
it
get
is
it,
what it
man.
is. You know. So how do you live in the moment? How do you do it, Glenn?
Breath work, it starts with if I'm ever not present, when I'm not present, I am present because I realize that. So for me, the breathing techniques I use are very important. Breath work is vital for me.
How do you keep your voice still a tip-top shape? Because if you look at the video and the music that you have out now, and people are like, it you just sound like you did 50 years ago. How do you take care of yourself?
I sleep a lot and I drink a lot of water. I don't overthink. I think overthinking is not good. So I try to keep the voice in my head quiet.
Overthinking. My God, this is like you're in my head. That's my problem. So I don't want to overthink this and yeah. One of these days I'm gonna train him to be my co-host, but right now he's playing with balls. If you're listening on the audio side of this.
You're a lucky man, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I mean, interviewing Glenn Hughes with my 2-year-old son in my lap. Yeah, I am pretty lucky. But and it's all through this. You could tell by the background, Guns N' Roses. You know, Appetite for Distortion podcast. It's a theme. So I do these 6 degrees of GNR Bacon. So I'm hoping maybe you could talk about your relationship with Slash because it goes way back. You know, I see you guys have performed at peace festivals and
Yeah.
so you can just talk about maybe the first time you met him and your relationship with Slash.
I met him at the beginning, because Matt Sorum's a good friend of mine. So I met him at the Troubadour in '87 or something, or um, so I a long history with Slash as a personal friend, and we've worked together. We have this thing called Kings of Chaos with Matt and Duff and Gilby. So it's an interesting scenario. And from time to time, I see Slash. Yeah, it's great. I love him. He's a good man.
What did you think as you go back that far in your history? What did you think of Guns N' Roses when they came out?
Oh, incredible. I mean, they pushed the boundaries and the limit, and they were, for me, as you can imagine, they were a real garage band. You know, edgy, take no prisoners, just an edgy bar band, kind of punkish, and came in at the right time.
Well, thank you. That's usually the answer you get, but I wasn't there, and I like to hear from people who lived it. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to tell this kid, about all, I have you telling me about back in the early '80s and '70s.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to tell him about my time. So, just Glenn, thank you just so much for your time.
You're very
And
welcome.
you want to say bye, Glenn? Bye. Say bye, Glenn.
Bye, Glenn.
Hello, sweetheart.
So I hope we get to do this again. Thank you.
Bye,
You too.
Benjamin.
Have a good day, my friend.
You
Have a
too.
good day. Thank you kindly.
Bye.
Thank you.
So that does it for episode number 526. I'll be honest, probably would have gotten another minute and a half if Harrison wasn't hanging on me. But Glenn Hughes seems to appreciate it. So this podcast was weird and awkward well before my son came along, and it's going to continue to be. So I love it. The more he talks, the more he gets involved, the more interesting my interviews are going to be. And I'll be honest. If it's ever a serious interview, I'll get a babysitter. You know what I mean? If for whatever reason I got Axel for like 5 hours, I'll pay for a babysitter. I can't have that craziness going on. So, but just so you're aware, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes I'm like, all right, buddy, you need to go somewhere else. Anyway, actually, one more thing before I wrap up because I want to talk to you. So let's do Mr. Mailstone.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
Mr. Mailstone, where I read messages and letters from you, whether it's a DM or one of my social media or an email to theafdshow@gmail.com. You can always send one to me. And this is from Sharon from the UK. And I just really, it's just so funny. I just go through a lot of my days doubting myself, and very honest, and you've all appreciated my honesty with it. And it's messages like this that I've gotten consistently over the 9 years that I've been doing this podcast that just keeps me going. So, dear Brando, says Sharon, first of all, thank you for all that you do for the GNR community. It's much appreciated. I listened and watched from London, UK, and became a fan in 2023 after unexpectedly being blown away by their Glastonbury show. Since then, I've been absolutely hooked, and Axl has a very big place in my heart. Once I took a deep dive into the band's history and old interviews, and I felt a real kinship with him. I was so excited to hear your recent podcast about Axl's voice, as I'm often disappointed by the constant negativity surrounding this topic. I saw GNR for the first time this year at Wembley, and to be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect. But as many have said before me, hearing Axl live is a completely different experience. Of course, he doesn't sound the same as in his youth, but I thought he sounded great, full of energy, running around the stage, engaging with fans, and giving his all. The whole band was so tight, and in my opinion, Isaac is the perfect addition. Unfortunately for Axl, his instrument is his voice, and he never spared it. No one can sustain that forever. He's also the front man with no instrument to hide behind, so all eyes are on him always. I also hate how many people unfairly blame him alone for the band's breakup or complain about the lost years albums, slash albums. Well, the actual punctuation slash years punctuation slash albums. These are the clarifications you need to make on a GNR podcast. What slash are you talking about? Personally, she continues, personally, I'm grateful for the brilliant discography we do have, even if it's short. The criticism of his looks is another thing I dislike. It's almost a downgrade of being so good looking in his youth. At 63, he's still a handsome, fit man with a musical talent most of us can only dream of. Lastly, I have to say how much I enjoyed your 3 interviews with Peter Napoliello. Such a great guy. As he said, I can't wait until you get one of the Guns' OG members on your podcast. I truly believe you will. Fun fact, my personal 6 degrees of separation is that I used to be a nanny for one of the members of Queen. Sadly, not around the time of the Freddie Mercury concert. Warmest wishes to you, Brando, and keep on keeping on. Sharon, thank you so much. This made my day. This was sent to at 8:30 in the morning the other day, and I guess nice thing to wake up to. So just thank you. I know it's in the UK, it's different. So over here in New York, I woke up to this. So it meant a lot to me. And all your points I agree with. Obviously, you were agreeing with some of the points that I made. So let me just kind of pad that with, I agree with you that, and I'm not making it up. Fans that go see Guns N' Roses live say Axl sounds better live than through YouTube, a cell phone clip. It's just the way it is, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Live is live. Even if you're live shooting with the cell phone camera, it doesn't get everything. It just doesn't. We're so spoiled with technology that we just think we can get anything at every time, and it's exactly what it's supposed to be. But nothing is going to replace reality. I'm sorry. We've made so many movies about this. But reality is just, unless we're all living in the Matrix, but I guess that's another podcast altogether. And he just the fact that Axl gave his all for so long. How do you sustain that screaming and for that age? So whenever people try to compare him to other singers of his age or older, you can't. No one sings like Axl. No one has. No one will. And if you try to sing like Axl, you're just emulating him. So he's the original. He's the OG. I appreciate you thinking I'm going to get some OG GNR members on the podcast. Technically, as I, push up my glasses like a nerd, technically I had Rob Gardner, the original drummer, on, and technically I finally had Tracy Guns on, the original. But I know what you mean. I'll continue to dream about it. You never know. I'll keep doing this podcast, so you never know. As I continue to train Baby Brownstone. Maybe one day he'll interview Axl. Never know. Wouldn't that be fun? And Peter Napoliello, he is a great guy. I mean, one of the many people I've met during this podcast has just been a really kind person to me, and it became more than an interview. It became a friend. So just thank you for everything you wrote, Sharon. And if you want to be in a future featured on this little segment that I do, Mr. Mailstone, obviously combining it with Blues Clues and Mr. Brownstone, if you couldn't figure that out, you could, again, email me at theafdshow@gmail.com, or you can inbox me at Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere that you communicate with me. I'll respond, and sometimes it's quick response, like just through email, whatever, or I like reading it on the air because it's fun. I think it should be shared with everybody. All right, so that does it for this episode of Appetite for Distortion. What is to come? Well, Bruce Dickinson is on the way. Just remember, I'm not going to hype it up or psych you out. We don't talk about Guns N' Roses. We don't. But it's going to be a great conversation with Bruce Dickinson, the icon from Iron Maiden. So stick around for that. Conversation continues in between the broadcast, social media. Follow me everywhere. YouTube, afdpod.com. Keep up to date. Buy merch. You can send me donations, which is all just going to go to the Baby Brownstone Fund, the Baby Brownstone Hard School Fund. That's how I GNR it up. That's translating to me buying new diapers for him. Anyway, until the next episode, when will you see it? In the words of Axl Rose concerning Chinese democracy, I don't know as soon as the word, but you'll see it.
Thanks to the lame ass security, I'm going home.